Okay, video number 2. I learned a lot in the last process and am in the process of trying to find something a little bit different. I want to try to keep up with these at least once a week, and it took several days to get the last video loaded. So I'm hoping that this one will be a little bit of an easier process. Anyway, I learned a lot about the last video as well. I went back and reviewed it, and for any of you that know anyone that is dealing with chemotherapy, please be aware that chemobrain is real. And I know for me, I can be in the middle of a conversation, in the middle of a thought, and everything is just gone. So I noticed that in the last video, and I'm trying to be much more aware of that so that I don't have these gaps that are in place, and just trying to stay consistent with everything. I also had a previous viewer um, make a personal contact with me to ask why I still have a photo of me and my most recent on the site. And I not only have the photo, but I have a slideshow. And I need to say that this person came into my life at a very vulnerable state when everyone else around me completely turned their backs. And it was very, very challenging. He very was very active. I mean, I can't even begin to say, and that's why I was so distraught in the last video. I don't believe that things have turned out the way that they've turned out. It's really hard to conceptualize. This person actually accompanied me. He lives in Washington State, and I live in California, and he accompanied me to a couple of my chemotherapy sessions. Um, sterilized my bathroom, but anyway, it's turned out the way that it's turned out, and I'm very grateful for what has happened. Let me rephrase that. I'm grateful for the assistance that he provided during a very critical time of my life, and I will not discount that. I'm not ready to take the photos off, and when I get ready, I will take them off. But right now, I'm not. It's a very sensitive part of my life, and after the 37 years that we had last seen each other, you know, um, it is what it is, and um, anyway, it's just life needs to move on and move forward for both of us, and I wish him and his other counterpart the best, and hopefully it all works out. Anyway, which leads me into the next part of what has happened to me this last week. I had someone that reached out to me, all these people from the past, wow, about 3 years after my husband passed away. I started dating. It took some time for me to get back into the dating scene, and was with somebody for about that length of time, about 3 years. And anyway, now realizes what he missed out on. Sorry, baby, it's not going to happen. And that trip that I took to Rhode Island to pack up his entire apartment as he was fighting to save his leg after a very horrible car accident, you know, that pretty much did it for me. And I, wish him the best. We have managed to maintain contact and have civil communication over the last several years, but it will never go back. That's in our past, and I wish him the best as well. But anyway, my life as it stands right now, I'm getting ready to go to church, and I have a lot of things coming up to help to boost my energy level, which actually has increased. And as much as my cell count and my weight continue to drop, I'm doing the best that I can to bring all of that back to healthy levels. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm starting Pilates this week, and I have been looking at dance classes, and I finally have that scheduled as well. The last week has been full of contractors as I'm looking to expand my business and getting back into my classes. School is resumed, and so I'm working on all of that. I have to get myself into a better position to be able to address all that I do in my life. I'm a very busy and active individual, and don't plan on slowing down to the point to where I stop everything. But I do need to take more time out for me, so that I am including. So travel plans. I have been looking at probably revising my plans a little bit. I've been in contact with a colleague that is in the latter stages of his PhD. I met him when I went to my first residency down in LA in 2013, I think it was. And he's always been very and he's provided a lot of information for me about my dissertation and working on those phases. And so we are looking at probably getting together. He's in Oklahoma, which is right above the state of Texas where I am going. So I may actually take a day out and go up that way just to touch bases. He's got a lot of changes going on in his life as well. And so it might be good for both of us just to bounce some things off of each other and see where it all where it leads us in our particular journeys. Purely platonic relationship, and those are some things that I really need in my life right now. I went ahead and made the plane reservations for St. Thomas, and still working on the plans for my road trip to Texas and New Orleans, and am getting more and more excited about that. And luckily, my energy level has started to pick up a little bit so that I can feel a little bit more safe and secure. My hair is starting to grow back a little bit, so hopefully by the time I get ready to go to Maui, I won't have to worry about a wig or head wraps or anything like that. I can just wear a short style. And I still need to put my plane reservations in place for Maui. Was sitting down with my other daughter yesterday and talking about some other plans about going back to the West Indies and doing a Yellowstone trip sometime after the first of the year, so we will be looking at that as well. That is the end of my the phone is ringing. Unavailable salesperson. So that is the end of the video for today, and I hope you all have a blessed day and take care until we see each other again. Have a wonderful day. Bye.